What would you consider a baddie? Or maybe we should dive back a little bit earlier. What is the concept of beauty or attractiveness? The truth is, beauty is subjective. Not just for humans, but even animals. But when most humans drool over, let's say, Asians, Russians, maybe fucking Swedish, and simultaneously ignoring Asians from, let's say, India.
What race would you not date?
Indian.
Some people would stare in awe at Dutch, British, Brazilian people, and some even like furries. We live in a very strange world where beauty is different for every person. And I think you can find anything attractive. Unless you're looking at minors, you sick bastard. So obviously, this list is absolutely subjective, as you're 100% free to have your own preferences. And obviously, I'm not just to look at a half-naked character and just think, wow, they're so damn hot because they're showing half of all their skin. No, obviously not. This is mainly a design rating. So how cool, unique, memorable, and just generally my own preference are gonna play a major factor in this. I'll also be adding my 3 favorite characters designs-wise, which means I don't care what they did, how bad of a person they are, and all that fancy stuff. I want to rank specifically based on the beauty that I see in front of me with my own eyes. And I'm pretty damn confident in my taste. What? What do you mean my takes are ass? You're asking me if I can even make a list? I am a fucking architect. Tier 3. The good. So, we're going to be starting off with Blue Archive. Why? Maybe it's because 90% of the game are just straight up kids. Like, I can only defend these fans if they like people like, maybe this fox girl named Kosaka, Ryo, or Asuma. Everyone else aren't just kids. They're literally like kindergartners, bro. Primary school students. Come on, man. With that said, my favorite character in terms of design in this game is gonna have to go to a 3-way tie between Hasumi, Shun, and Makoto. I like Shun because, it's a nice take with her furish clothing. I really, fuck with that. Hasumi, I vibe with the wings, and Makoto, they've managed to do a pretty nice generalish look, which gives a nice comparison to a future top tier in this video. With that said, the designs, although nice, cool, and, I guess you could say conventionally attractive, it's just not that unique in my eyes. And for that reason, Blue Archive will be going to the bottom section of Tier 3. After further review, I'd like to say that I put Blue Archive on the bottom of Tier 3 not because the top 3 characters that I said are worse than the top 3 of the next game, but simply because there are just too many kids. Thank you. Now, personally, I remember having a family event this one time and I spent 90% of it inside a guest room alone, just playing this game non-stop.
Oh my god, please!
Obviously, we can talk about gameplay another time. Designs-wise, although I love characters like Oguri Cap, Still in Love, Meijiro McQueen, Agnes Tachyon, and yes, obviously Gold Ship. I feel like their designs are a little too uniform. Obviously, each racer has their own unique uniforms, but compared to the other games, they still remain basic, unfortunately. Just simply due to the fact that they can't be too over the top and they're all horse girls. With that said, I still absolutely adore these characters. Characters like Gold Ship and Oguri Cap are definitely super memorable. It's just unfortunate they can't explore new character themes like, wings or sick-ass halos, since they obviously have to pay respect to the original horses they're based on. that fact alone baffles me on how they can make such amazing designs despite these limitations. Uma Musume will unfortunately have to remain on tier 3, despite still being absolutely stunning. With all that said, my 3 favorites will have to go to Oguri Cap, Still in Love, and my top 1 being TM Opera. Tier 2 did great. Now, moving on, we have ourselves on a great spot. That is tier 2. This isn't mid by any means at all, but in this list, they are just a level under the truly greats. With that said, let's move on to an absolutely iconic staple of the gacha genre that is... Obviously, Genshin remains as one of my biggest influences in playing gacha games. Specifically to try to pull for characters like Yae or Childa because man, they were and still are pretty damn awesome. They somehow have a way of making a design simple while still giving them an insane amount of tiny, little, minuscule details within the characters. However, one problem that I do have with this game is the fact that sometimes the designs are seriously hit or miss. They can either have stunning, amazing, beautiful designs such as Arlecchino, or they'll just look staler than 3-week-old bread like John. Or was it Jean? I forgot. I just think she's way too basic. With that said, my favorites will have to go to Yae, Columbina, and Flint's. Honestly, I could definitely move them higher than this since I'm still not too familiar with the characters as of now. And I am still seriously trying to dive in the lore. But for now, I'd say this is a nice little cozy spot for Limbus Company. I absolutely love how they do people in suits like oh my god, they all look so amazing. All their unique abilities and their amazing writing, I definitely put them up there if this was a writing tier list. Unfortunately, Limbus Company's weakness lies in the very strength they possess, which is the suits. Basically, everybody in the game wears suits. And although yes, most of the suits have their own unique ornaments that set them aside from everyone else, they're all still suits at the end. Don't get me wrong, the people there are still both handsome and beautiful and whatever you call them, but I just can't get to really remember them if it wasn't for their unique art style, except Dante of course. Anyway, my top 3 will have to go to the Big Don, Heathcliff, and the Barber.
Eradicate all Canadians.
Now, Zenless is possibly one of the most unexpectedly enjoyable gacha games I've ever played. Honestly, watching the little cinematics they do, I envisioned this game to have 2 possible outcomes. One is that there won't be too many characters in the game that tickle my little brain and they'll just focus on the physics. Or 2, some of the absolute GOATs would pop out from this game. And you know what? I think Ellen Jo was the selling point for the second outcome. Ellen Jo is so memorable. And they didn't just stop there, but they kept going with Miyabi, Caesar, and of course, the original Void Hunters. My top 3 for this game will have to go to Miyabi, Yi Xingguang, and Lady Sunbringer, before they change their design for whatever reason. Tier 1. The best. Now, moving on are the pinnacle of baddies in gacha games. Remember, Obviously, some of your games aren't gonna be here since I'm not even a whale. Anyway, these 4 games are gonna be what I consider the absolute best in terms of designs on my list. And I would love to see everyone's thoughts. With that in mind, the honorable mention for this podium will be...
Get away, another way to feel what you do on yourself to know and let yourself go. You know you do lose your self-control.
Withering Waves. The start of the game? Man, a lot of these characters were...
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Like, who the hell would find UN attractive? What? People have a thing for old dudes with muscles? Damn. What a world we live in. Like, man, when I tell you it was dry, I meant it was dry. Like, I genuinely thought the only 2 attractive people were the male rover and the female rover. Oh, and I guess, yeah, like that girl from the literal start of the game that never even shows up again. Like, if I told a WAYYYY player on release that there would be a better looking character than female rover, they would generally die of a heart attack. The only other attractive people was literally a Sephiroth clone and a Noel clone? But damn, as the game progressed, the release of Shorekeeper was possibly the biggest leap this game could have ever taken. She practically revolutionized standards for the characters in this game. Now, I know what you're gonna say. Oh, but Yin Lin was low-key hella bad. You know what problem this game still has? Mommy vibe characters. Don't get me wrong, I do love a more dominant woman. Sure, they're pretty damn cool. But when I tell you the inflation of characters that try to use a mommy-style design and lore, you'll think we're looking at a literal rupiah inflation rate chart. But anyway, my top 3 for this game will be Shorekeeper, Cantarella, and Lupo. Arknights. And no, I'm not including Enfield as it's still relatively a new game and it has way more potential to grow, so I'll be primarily focusing on the first and main game. And to say they aren't just absolutely beautiful with characters like Thorns, Stainless, no, not that Stainless, this one, Tequila. Do you think he looks like a golden retriever boy?
You're goddamn right.
Cool Heya? Is that how you spell her name? Man, I need to learn how to spell more. Wisadel and Texas. Oh, sorry, wrong image. Man, when I tell you that Arknight's characters look so damn beautiful, I mean they look damn beautiful. Honestly, I don't have much to say about the designs. Sometimes, sure, maybe the designs can be a little over the top crazy, but man, when they do it right, they absolutely do it right. With that said, my top 3 will have to go to Hulheak, Wisadel, and most certainly Texas.
Kudurin, kudurin, kudurin. Kuru-kuru.
Honkai Star Rail. This was probably the first game where I downloaded and said, whoa. Man, I absolutely love these designs. Gun to my head, tell me to name 2 things whole universe never misses at, and 1, being money hungry to the player base by absolutely power creeping the fuck out of their games. And 2, wow. Honestly, Hoyo just doesn't miss on character designs. They literally had the entire gacha game scene on a time stop from the literal start when Kafka was introduced. Then they had Himeko, still early in the game by the way. Then they dropped more bombshells with Dan Heng, Requiem, Blade, Firefly, Sparkle, goddamn, even OG March 7th is fucking goated as shit. And wait, they dropped D Herda? Oh boy. It made me literally reinstall the game, spin for her, not get her, and uninstall it again out of pure rage. D-Herta genuinely drove my ass insane for a week, and no one around me even noticed. With all that said, my top 3 for this game's baddies will have to go to D-Herta, Firefly, and Bei Xiao. Concluding this video. Wait, what the hell is that? I feel like this should come as a surprise to absolutely no one. But when you make a game with the biggest goal being to appeal with the fan service,
I drank a beer. I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers.
Oh no.
5 beers.
Oh
6 beers. 7 beers. 8 beers. 9 beers. And a Bloody Mary.
no. He sounds, he's bomb.
Nikke is easily bound to be one of the top picks in this whole list. I mean, come on. While most games rely on their gameplay, their stories, and just having a good gacha system, Nikke is simply focused on making the characters appeal to everyone. They also have one of the saddest stories of gacha game history for no fucking reason at all. And they definitely got that done right. Tell me right now, Dorothy isn't an absolute top tier. Tell me Nayuta ain't one of the baddest girls in the video because she manages to do so while still having an amazing design. And it's not like they're hard to tell apart because each character has their own unique traits that make them them. I honestly don't have much to say. They're all stunning in their own rights, and the game gives a very, very accessible way to, dive deeper in the designs. I simply just love the characters, and I don't got much else to say for it. My top 3 will be going to Dorothy, Nayuta, and Jetstream Sam.
Let's dance.
And finally, we have finished this video. What's that? Oh, right. I haven't forgotten. FGO, Fate Grand Order. If you haven't seen their characters, it's not too late yet. Remember what I said about general-ish looks with Makoto? General-ish look, which gives a nice comparison to a future top tier in this video. Yeah, we're not fucking done. The character in mention is no other than the once great leader of Japan, Oda Nobunaga, if he was instead a she. Fate Grand Order possibly has the wildest selection of absolute god tier baddies in all of gacha. No female character in any gacha game that I've played have even come close to Baoban Sif, who is a 4-star. Sure, maybe the amount of saber faces can get a little repetitive, but they're distinct enough to know where you can't tell me that this, and this are just carbon copies of each other. The only thing I think is holding FGO back from being the absolute pinnacle of gacha game designs is the fact that there are so many different artists from the game, and it basically results in many different art styles for some characters. Still, Oberon mugs any of your favorite guys. Fuck, we don't even need to go that far because Gilgamesh still genuinely just mugs. Baoban Sif makes other girls look like sub-5s. And that's still too overkill because you could literally just put Jalter there and boom, all of gacha destroyed. Obviously, from the start this video has been preference based, but once again, I'm not just an admirer of art.
I am a fucking architect.
And to finally conclude this video, the top 3 absolute baddest characters goes to Baoban Sif, Oda Nobunaga, and last but not least, my absolute GOAT Jolter. And for an upcoming spoiler for you that made it this far in this video, the next 2 videos will be FGO themed. Specifically about possibly the greatest story in all of Gacha game history. No, not possibly, the greatest story in all of Gacha game history. Lost Belt 6, Avalon Le Fay. Thank you all for watching. Remember, I obviously can't just appeal to your taste because everybody has different tastes and that's okay. This video is purely subjective and I hope you all can understand that. Let me know what kind of videos you guys would want in the future. Or maybe just what characters you would do this good canoe to. And once again, love y'all. Peace.